Congratulations again to the University of Tennessee on their win against Alabama. Mainly because y'all deserved to win. It was a good game. And Alabama still holds its own destiny. So there's that. But I would be remiss if I did not talk about what I believe is to be a conspiracy against Alabama. And the refs are using penalties to do it. Their only reason that I believe this is because they're trying so hard to keep Alabama out of the playoffs, and their only real way to do it is to affect games. I don't know, you tell me. Alabama has had 66 calls against them for 559 yards. Opposingly, all the other teams combined, even with Utah State having 11 penalties called against them, that's right, 40 penalties total for 330 yards for the opponents against Alabama. Alabama got called for 17 penalties for 139 yards against Tennessee. The one call that really stands out to me in the Tennessee game is the fact that Gibbs scored on a 1-yard touchdown run. They called it back for holding. They showed the review twice. And Gary Danielson just started making up reasons about why they couldn't see the hold. Oh, maybe they was calling it on a different person because it wasn't the person they called it on. He couldn't even find the fucking hold. There's been twice when Alabama had less penalties than its opponent. The Utah State game, they had 11 penalties. Alabama had 6. The Texas A&M game, where Texas A&M had 8 penalties and Alabama had 6, and Alabama still had nearly 20 more yards worth of penalties than what Texas A&M had. Even in the Vandy game, where they both had 6 penalties apiece called against them, Alabama still had 20 more yards worth of penalty yardage than what Vandy did. Looking at the penalties called against the opponents and looking at the penalties called against Alabama and at the yardage difference and looking at when the penalties are called, whether it be after a big play or after a score, well, that starts letting you think a little that maybe, just maybe, that people are trying their damnedest to keep Alabama out of the playoffs again.